Hey everybody, Some Gadget Guy here, somegadgetguy.com. I wrote an article a little while ago talking about how the Surface, not the Surface Pro, but the Surface 2, the Surface RT, might be one of the best travel companions for those of us who need to record audio. So if you're into spoken word recording, if you're doing a lot of like voiceover auditions, or if you're also trying to do podcasting in some kind of more mobile way, the Surface 2 with its full-sized USB port might actually be one of the best solutions that you can utilize. That USB port is obviously designed for mice and keyboards, but it also connects to smarter devices too, like hard drives and flash drives, and of course USB microphones. So here to demonstrate, I've got my handy dandy little Zoom H4n. This is a portable recorder that can be used as a USB interface to plug microphones into, or it's got two mics right there at the top so that you can use it as a USB microphone. It's one of the handiest pieces of kit I've ever used, and this little guy has been used on documentaries, on short films, on feature films. Audio from this guy's shown up all over the place. It's my personal unit, and I love him to death. To demonstrate, I'm going to use a ridiculously short USB cable so that no one can claim I'm somehow faking what's happening here. I'm going to plug that in right there. See, full-size USB port, gotta love that. And we're going to plug this guy in here. We're going to see the Zoom fire up. Let me make sure. Right there. Okay, so now we've got the options to go with storage or audio IF. If I select storage, you'll be able to read the files off of the SD card here, pull them onto the tablet, pull them off the tablet, email them, do whatever you want. It's going to show up just like a flash drive or a hard drive. But we want to use this as an audio interface. And so I'm going to select audio IF. The default frequency is 44.1, so I'm just going to leave that alone. We're going to hit connect. It's going to take a little while because the Surface 2 isn't a full-fledged computer. It's just a little less powerful than like the Surface Pro would be, which would fire up even just a little faster, but the lights come on. And now we have a full audio interface. Everything audio is now been pulled from the tablet and is now running through the Zoom. So if you go into, say, a Skype call, it's not going to use the mic at the front of the tablet. It's going to use this, which is a much nicer microphone to build off of. And then from the Zoom, we can control where audio is going. So if I want to have two microphones plugged in, I can have stereo recording right there. But I don't have anything connected to them, so I'm going to hit mic, and you can see that the little VUs are starting to slide back and forth because the mics are already starting to pick up the sound of my voice. Now, those of you on Apple devices know that, like the iPad, for example, can already use USB microphones, and there are a number of fantastic apps to utilize that with. This is obviously already a much faster, much cleaner experience than any of the hoops that you have to jump through to try and get partial compatibility working on an Android tablet. This has still been one of the most disappointing aspects of owning Android devices is they still don't natively know what to do with USB audio. Even if you want to plug an Android handset or tablet into your car, for example, it's a coin flip whether or not your car and your phone or tablet will be able to talk to each other. But the Microsoft environment has one nice little handy feature above even Apple's implementation of USB audio, and that's file management. So what you do with your files, it's easier, in my opinion, to work in Microsoft's environment than it is to work in iOS. So we're going to treat this just like we were messing around. So, oh, look, I've got a little audition here in my email for the Schmonda Excelsior luxury sedan. I'm going to go ahead and tap on that. And there is Microsoft Office pops up. I actually already had it loaded. I was, doing a demo on this before. So this is my copy, and a lot of people already do this in VoiceOver. So if you have your script, you can just read it off of your tablet while you're recording on something else. You don't have to worry about printing out paper, and it's nice. It helps you reduce the amount of waste in your home studio. But over Apple's solution, what we can also do here in Windows is I'm going to swipe from the top. It's going to pull, and then I'm going to move him over to the left-hand side. And now I've got a split screen view. Well, I've got an empty panel here. I'm going to tap on this. And this is a free app in the Microsoft App Store. One of the things about recording on Windows is that the apps still have a long way to go. The hardware is working really good. The apps are a little basic. But this is Sound Editor, so I'm going to pull this up. And now I can start a new project right from here. with this little interface right there. And I can read my copy while leaving my recording interface up at the same time. And there are a couple other little sound recorder apps that you can play with too. I picked this one just off the cuff because it was the first one that I tried that worked, and it was also free. Haha, free's nice. So I'm going to position this mic just a little closer to my face. And we're gonna hit record and give this voiceover a go. Introducing the new Schmonda Excelsior Sport Sedan. With a class-leading 7 mpg, you'll be treated to a beautiful tour of America's most scenic gas stations and rest stops. For the environmentally conscious, the interior is clad in an exciting array of authentic faux wood grain paneling and synthetic leather, ensuring no living organisms were harmed in the creation of this comfortable cabin. Now well-qualified buyers can finance a Schmonda Excelsior for $4,500 down with a low 17% APR for 72 months. Schmonda. Proactive synergy. Redefining paradigms. Okay, so I can stop the recording right now. And now I'm done with the script, so I can take this and fling it off to the side. And we've got our audio wave here. It's looking pretty full. It's looking pretty big. That's nice. And so I'm going to save this. Oh, well, I mean, we can do some things too. Like if I want to come in here and actually move that over just a little bit, and I can cut that and then slide this all the way to the end. And I can do this. Nope, I want this all the way to the end and do that. And cut that. Okay, so now I can save this. And so it's asking me if I want to save it to this PC's desktop, and I'm just going to leave that as a new sample, but I don't want it as a WAV file. I want it as an MP3. So we're going to switch it over to newsample.mp3. We're going to save this sample. Newsample.mp3. I'm going to go back home. We're going to go back to my little audition email. We're going to reply to who sent it. And then we're going to come here, hit attachment. There's newsample.mp3. It's pulling it right from my desktop. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to hit attach, and I can send it right back off to whoever sent it to me. Easy peasy. That's phenomenal. You don't have to jump through any hoops. You don't have to use a special app like in Apple. A number of app developers have found ways to get around Apple's lockdown on what you can attach to an email, but you just don't have to worry about stuff like that using the Surface. So this is one of those reasons why I've been starting to talk up Microsoft tablets. Again, they don't have quite the same fully fleshed out ecosystem that Android and iOS has, obviously. We're still waiting on some slightly better software. We really want to see where developers can push some of this hardware integration. But even right now, as it stands right now, that was much easier for me than anything I've ever tried to do in recording with an Android tablet. And it was a little less infuriating, having the ability to just attach something to an email the way I want to, than that mess that you have to go through on Apple devices and trying to find apps that are compatible with certain services or uploading to like a Dropbox, or then just being able to download an audio file and not have to worry about, playing it through your email. For example, if you have a music file, this is a licensed audio track from Google. It's, you're allowed to use it on YouTube projects, and I can just tap on it and it'll play. And it's playing from the Zoom right here. I can just pause that, or if I long press, I can save it. How refreshing. I can just save an MP3 from an email onto the tablet and then use that MP3 anytime I want, anywhere I want. And that is fantastic. Case in point, let's see what we can do. So we're downloading this MP3. Let's save it to this PC, and let's save it to the desktop so we can find it easily. It's called Drop and Roll. We're going to save that. And now I'm going to come into another app that I've been playing with. It's not on my home screen, Recording Studio. So this is going to be a little bit more for someone who's trying to do multi-tracking or podcasting. This is just their free demo. It's not fully featured. You can't export. And I think the full app is like $8. But we're going to do a new song. We'll just say it's song 1. And I want to import an audio file. And we're gonna go to this PC, go to the desktop. There's drop and roll. So this was an MP3 that was attached to an email, which now lives on this tablet, and I can do whatever I want with it. I can hit drop and roll. I can hit open. It's gonna open in the project. Bam. And now I can start a new, we're gonna say, we'll say it's audio stereo. This is a stereo interface, and I wanna record to this track. And now you can start to see some of the VU right here is creeping along just based on the sound of my voice, which is awesome. Oh, whoops, I can't do another. You can only do 2 tracks on the free version. But now, so say you had a music bed, for your podcast or for your internet radio show, you could lay that music bed under, record right on top of it directly from your Surface, and then export it as a WAV or an MP3 file and be able to send it to whatever service that you use for podcasting, which is awesome. And so, folks, that's what I've been getting at when I start telling people to consider Windows devices for some of this functionality. Yeah, we don't have all the fun stuff yet, and we still could use a little bit more software developer support for some of these hardware solutions, but on the whole, even as it stands right now, it's really compelling functionality to be able to split screen this kind of information and to be able to use whatever kind of recording solution that you want to use, and to have full Office and document support. I don't think Windows tablets have quite gotten to the fun yet of having an iPad or an Android, but when it comes to getting work done, I think there are some solutions that actually make Windows tablets a smarter buy just in general. When it comes to work, when it comes to Office, when it comes to audio, when it comes to file management, this is already pretty good, and I'm going to assume that it's only going to get better over the next couple years. So folks, as always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all on the next review.